24 hours before our wedding, my fiancé handed me a designer dress and a plane ticket. My ex is getting married tomorrow too, he said. Go there, wear this, and make her wedding day miserable. If you do it, I'll marry you. If not, the ring goes back. I stared at the Valentino dress draped across my bed, its blood-red fabric almost obscene against the white duvet. Next to it lay a first-class ticket to Miami, departing in 3 hours. The clock on my nightstand read 2:17 p.m. This time tomorrow, I was supposed to be saying, I do to Ryan Sullivan at the Four Seasons in Manhattan. You can't be serious, I finally managed. Turning to face my fiancé of 11 months, Ryan leaned against the doorframe of our bedroom, arms crossed over his expensive suit. His dark hair was freshly cut, his jaw clean-shaven. He looked every bit the successful hedge fund manager, polished, confident, untouchable. I am completely serious, Charlotte. His voice was calm as if he just asked me to pick up his dry cleaning. Isabel Richards ruined my life once. I am not letting her live happily ever after while I watch from the sidelines. Isabel, the name that had haunted our relationship from day one. Ryan's college sweetheart turned 5-year girlfriend turned ex-fiancée ped. The woman who had broken his heart 3 years ago by calling off their engagement 2 weeks before the wedding. The woman I had never met, but whose shadow had followed me from our first date to this moment. Let me get this straight, I said, fighting to keep my voice steady. You want me to skip our rehearsal dinner tonight, fly to Miami, crash your ex's wedding tomorrow, and what object during the ceremony? Spill wine on her dress? What exactly am I supposed to do with this information? Ryan pushed himself away from the doorframe and walked toward me, his expression softening into the charming smile that had first captivated me at that gallery opening last year. He took my hands in his, rubbing his thumbs over my knuckles in the way that always made me melt. You don't have to do anything dramatic, he said. Just be there, wear the dress, she'll recognize it. It's the one she always wanted but could never afford. He leaned closer, his breath warm against my cheek. Let her see that I've moved on to someone better. Someone who would do anything for me. My stomach twisted. And if I don't? The warmth disappeared from his eyes so quickly I almost gasped. He dropped my hands and took a step back. Then I'll know where your loyalty lies. He glanced meaningfully at the 3-carat diamond sparkling on my left hand, and so will you. With that, he turned and walked out, leaving me alone with an impossible choice. I sank onto the edge of the bed, my fingers automatically reaching for my phone. I needed to talk to someone, anyone who could help me make sense of this insanity. My thumb hovered over my best friend Zoe's name, but I hesitated. What would I even say? My fiancé is blackmailing me into sabotaging his ex's wedding, or he'll call off ours. It sounded deranged even in my own head. Instead, I opened my browser and typed Isabel Richards Miami wedding. The search yielded immediate results, a wedding website with tasteful cream and gold detailing featuring engagement photos of a stunning woman with caramel-colored hair and the kind of smile that lit up her entire face. Beside her stood a tall man with salt and pepper hair and kind eyes. The site gave details about their ceremony at the Vizcaya Museum and Gardens, scheduled for 5 p.m. tomorrow, the exact same time as my own wedding. I clicked through to their story. Isabel 32, art curator, William 41, pediatric surgeon. They had met when William brought his nephew to the museum where Isabel worked. There was a charming anecdote about how he'd returned week after week with different children, claiming they all needed cultural enrichment, until he finally worked up the courage to ask her out. They looked happy, genuinely radiantly happy. I closed the browser and stared at my reflection in the black screen. In contrast to Isabel's warm glow, I looked pale and uncertain, my blonde hair pulled back in its usual neat omissi, my blue eyes shadowed with doubt. When had I become this person? This woman who would even consider ruining a stranger's wedding to please her fiancé? The answer came unbidden. I'd been becoming her slowly, one compromise at a time since the day I met Ryan.